Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Starladder Season 8 Day 8 coverage. We've got Game 2 of 5 coming up for you next, and we've got Next.kz facing off against Team Aspera. Still having weird audio issues. I can't get my volume quite right. I swear my bars are in the same spot and everything is so quiet. But alas, we are back. I'm Zyori. Again, with me is Merlini. Merlini, what's up coming into this game?
We have Next.kz versus Team Aspera. Next.kz has been doing decently lately. They were on a winning streak and then they lost 2-0 to Power Rangers. They beat out Speed Gaming though the day prior, so still coming off pretty hot. Aspera, they've been kind of sitting around the lower ranks of Starladder, but Sharfik's Storm is pretty well noted, and Next.kz looks like they're already going to ban that out.
Yep, you're exactly right about that. Definitely one of Sharfik's signature heroes, and Aspera have been known to draft him pretty early on, so I think a very warranted ban right here. Again, Doom going to be banned out, but this time in the early set of bans, so some of those scary heroes going to be picked up. Lich and Elder Titan, the first two for Next League, and Venomancer Mirana going to be the duo here for Aspera. Again, interesting that Visage has been less of a priority, at least. It feels like more and more, Merlini, since we've been casting, that Visage has been sneaking his way into that third, fourth pick, kind of third, fourth ban role, which I still find surprising, but I don't know, I guess as you mentioned, some teams just don't have a high-quality Visage player, which can prove to be a problem.
No Visage played, but yep, banned out. And we said Elder Titan from Next.kz. That I like Next.kz starting to a little bit better, although they don't have the Venomancer. Lich and Elder Titan are still pretty darn strong, and Team Aspera's is not bad though. Mirana plus Venomancer, pretty strong. Surprised they went with their Wind Ranger pickup. Wind Ranger generally stronger versus physical damage dealers, but they don't really have any yet on Next.kz side.
Perhaps anticipating a potential Lifestealer pick that could be coming out here for Next League is still an option if that's the route they want to go. Bane's still going to be in the pool as well. Classic Bane-Mirana combo. Aspera might be interested in, depending on what they want to do with that Windrunner. But still a couple of options. We've been seeing that mid-Windrunner a little bit more frequently as well. We saw it at least once yesterday, if not twice. And it seems to actually fare pretty well when Windrunner gets that little bit of fun. Get a nice early mech, a nice early Force Staff, and then just transition to those utility items. It can be pretty scary.
Yeah, I like the mid Windrunner. The only problem with that is that you need like a pretty hard carry as your farmer, because Wind Ranger, as good as she is, she doesn't do too well past 40 minutes or 30 minutes even, unless you have a really heavy damage dealer like an Alchemist. But with Nature's Prophet, I like the synergy in between Wind Ranger and Nature's Prophet. Both of them have pretty long reach with Power Shot and Nature's Prophet Ultimate. And if you can hit a Shackle off a Sprout, that is usually a guaranteed kill.
Yeah, that's true. So, Nature's Prophet will be grabbed. Maybe Nyx Assassin, something Next League want to consider here. We've seen how well he works against the Rat Dota Nature's Prophet. But instead going to go Alchemist Weaver here. So, Next League, how do they want to do this? Still a lot of options with their lanes. I'm assuming it'll be a hard farming Weaver. I don't know, how are they going to lane this? I guess they're going to need a mid-hero here in this to support Alchemist. Kind of try lane with the Weaver,
they could
lane
do
Elder Titan.
Dual lanes too if they really wanted to, or support Alk. So with a tri lane with Lich, Alk, and Weaver, so they still have a lot of options open. Yeah. Elder Titan doesn't do the best versus Nature's Prophet. I think it'd be best for Next.kz to try and search for their solo hero with the tri-lane. If they 3-on-1 Nature's Prophet and Elder Titan's in a 1-on-3 situation too, that would be the best for them, because Elder Titan can still pick up experience close to his tower, and they don't really have that long range initiate on Aspera, so Venomancer can zone him out, but they shouldn't be able to kill him. Tinker from Aspera, that's interesting. Yeah,
very interesting. Now Tinker, one of those heroes that can really get out of control, one of the hardest carries, I suppose you can say, because in that super late 6-slotted game, he can perma-sheep people, do all sorts of scary stuff, just chain Dagon over and over, all sorts of treacherous things Tinker can get up to if he is able to farm that quickly. A lot of it based on how quickly he gets those boots of travel. Any thoughts about a good pick into a Tinker? Is there anyone that kind of just straight counters him in the mid lane?
Assassin does pretty well. He doesn't like counter him in the mid game, but he's really good at picking him up in the later game. So is Clockwork. Clockwork is actually really good at taking him out, but Aspera's already banned that out. So Nyx Assassin is also really good at taking out Nature's Prophet. So I think it would probably be the best pick for them there, and it's a nice initiate for them because with Nature's Prophet and Tinker, you're most likely not going to be like pushing into their towers. You're going to be like split pushing and defending, and that is a much better situation for Nyx to go into. But Puck, standard.
Yeah, never disappointed with the Puck pick, and I think that will help add to some of their team fight. There's always that possibility for a good Dream Coil with Chain Frost. Pretty good Lich game, I suppose. There's no Chen. There's the tree babies from Nature's Prophet, but all in all, not going to be too many minions, as I've been flamed for calling them. Merlini, what word do you use for things that they summon? Like, if someone was getting chased down by some familiars and a bear, and you wanted to use a pronoun like, oh, look at how much damage these things are doing.
Summon.
You would use summon?
I just say summons.
Summons?
Yeah.
I know minion is a taboo word here.
I don't think I use minions for necro minions, I think.
Necro minions. Like the little skeleton babies? Those minions? Necronomicon.
Necronomicon.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant the...
But other than that, I don't think I use the word minions that much. Minions, I think of like, I don't know. I mean, I think it's an appropriate word, but it's just not what I call them. I just call them summons.
Summons is probably the...
For Visage Familiars, I always call them Visage Familiars or Gargoyles.
Yeah, well, it's like, if they're lumped together, like there's also a bear in the mix or something like that. So it's multiple summons of a different variety. Just curious.
Non-hero player-controlled units.
Yeah, these NPCs. Oh, man. So, all right, let's check this out here. And looks like there is going to be a bit of a scary train coming from Next.kz to start things off. But I'm sure a Wadafaka here going to be moving to the mid lane. He's going to be playing on the Puck. Right now down in the bottom lane, looks like they are going to have a bit of tri-lane action. Amazing, going to be on the Lich. Reeves going to be the one on the support Alchemist. Mantis going to be farming away on that Weaver. And, of course, Equal going to be in the off-lane Elder Titan. Probably going to be up in that solo safe lane. On our Radiant side, we do have Team Aspera in the bottom. It is going to be a solo Mirana for now, being played by Wall Eater. In the mid lane, Sharfik going to be on the Tinker. Going to be kind of interesting. I don't recall a time seeing Sharfik play Tinker, so this should be interesting for all of us. Up in the top lane right now, we've got Blah Blah Foo on the Venomancer, and Ink Visitor are going to be on the Wind Ranger. They are sort of stationed in a sneaky position near the side shop here, and maybe looking for a little bit of early aggression. And of course, there's going to be a Nature's Prophet here, played by Cat for KM. And right now he is headed to the top lane, so it looks like they may just hope for a little bit of first blood action before
they actually use a smoke for that too. You can see Ink Visitor smoke on cooldown.
Oh,
so
wow.
Aspera is going all out for this early game.
Yeah, interesting. So is it worth it though to get an early kill on an Elder Titan?
For a smoke, I don't know. Elder Titan,
and will they be able to kill him? That's another question.
I think they'll be able to kill him. That's for sure. If he pokes his head out, like over here, he's dead. I think they can definitely kill him. He doesn't have a style shield either, so that should make quick work of him. But it all depends on whether or not he's going to pop out without the vision of two supports. They'll see the Priestess of the Moon on bottom. They may suspect that Mantis may actually be in trouble. So yeah, I think it's really on whether or not he's going to come out and how careful of a player he is. Some players might take that risk and be like, well, we don't see him, but he's probably on bottom and still come out and give an early first blood, which is not the end of the world because Mantis will then be able to farm on bottom without that much worry. Up equal, yep, he's going to go out. He is dead.
He's in big trouble. He's actually going to move into the side shop. Oh, man.
If he sells his Tangos and buys a TP, he would live. But
yeah.
Nope.
So Shackle does connect. The Gale. Cat for KM going to come in. Trying to slow him down with those treants as best he can. He is going to get some nice path blocking. And there it is. Very nicely done by Reeves. Whew, close
very
one.
Nice.
Yeah, going to thwart the first one. At first I was like, oh no, Reeves, what are you doing? More path blocking. And then he got the deny off, so it was okay. But
you shouldn't be able to deny versus level 1 Venomancer Gale. It doesn't do any damage over time, actually. So it's kind of a outdated thing.
That's really weird. So that mechanic is ability? That's strange. Yeah, I hadn't realized that there's no damage at the level. There's no dot at level 1. Wow. Merlini, you're all over the place with the mechanics today. The more you know. That is a weird one. Still a noble effort from Aspera, but all in all, not going to be too treacherous. Just Elder Titan going to go back to the well. But in the mid here, what a fuck, going to be in some trouble. A nice Shackle going to come in. Ink Visitor going to have a double damage rune. That will be an easy first blood here. No deny coming in. And Wind Ranger going to be the one to grab that bit of bonus gold. More importantly, Puck getting shut down.
Yeah, he should expect that coming though, with the offensive lane being a triple lane and Nature's Prophet being a very good solo hero. And with a Venomous on the other team, he kind of has expected he should always save his ore defensively, or unless he can push out the wave and then just immediately retreat back to the tower.
So going to be 2-0 here for Aspera. They are off to a good start. And Puck versus Tinker, do you give an edge either way, or is this one of those kind of just wash mid matchups?
It depends. Puck can actually get killed by the Tinker if he goes a laser rocket build, but for the most part, he's not going to be able to do that much. If he goes a passive build with March, which he is right now with level 2 March at level 4, it's just going to be a passive farm lane.
Yeah. Oh, Weaver almost in a little bit of trouble there. Power shot, not quite going to be on the mark, but I don't know if that would have been enough for a kill. Inquisitor only level 2, but still harassing him back, opening up a little bit of room for the Mirana to pick up some farm, as she was solo for the initial part of this match. Going to try to push back the Weaver as well. Looks like Lich just going to be stationed down here for a while to try to maintain some lane control and let Mantis keep farming as he Shikuchis forward. Oh no, nothing too crazy happening. Reeves going to hang around at the top line. Looks like Next.kz do just want to commit to this 2-1-2 for now, recognizing that Equal could be struggling if those supports rotate back in. So Alchemist just going to do his work in the jungle. He's actually going to use a smoke here, and it looks like they may try and set something up on the Nature's Prophet. He's going to get revealed, and I don't think they're going to be able to make it happen. He's going to charge the concoction. Here comes the Acid Spray. Astral Spirit as well. Damage not going to be there, though. Furion walks away.
Yeah, smoke a little bit unnecessary there, but very good scouting by the Nature's Prophet. I guess maybe he suspected there were treants over there, and he will keep summoning the treants to keep an eye on Reeves. But he is at the same time out of mana right now, so lane control should go slightly in favor of Elder Titan right now. In the mid lane, Puck still heavily on top of the CS, 19-4 compared to Tinker's 15-6. Wow, stop. Inquisitor's angry.
Yep, and yeah, Mantis shackled right now in the middle of the pause, so this is going to be sort of an interesting resume. I don't know that they'll have enough to finish him, but maybe they will. That Sacred Arrow, look at that. It's just about to fly. Interesting time to pause.
I don't think they're going to be able to kill him. Even if they get the Sacred Arrow,
it's pretty short
it's not going
range.
to be a kill.
Maybe a 2-second stun.
I mean, all they have is like right clicks, 100 damage power shot, 100 damage starfall too, and he has 500 HP with a bottle on top of that, and he has ring of protection armor for the right click. Shackle, I mean, arrow at that duration is going to last, or at that distance is going to last like maybe a second.
Yeah, Mirana going to be able to do at least like 150 damage. Wind Ranger going to be able to do at least 100 before mitigation. Yeah, I think they'll be hard-pressed to finish him off. And Lichy is nearby as well, so if they really do commit to it, Lich will at least have a Frost Blast available. Was that ability always called Frost Blast, or did it used to be Frost Nova?
It's by Frost Nova.
Oh, man, what
I think
happened?
they wanted I think in Dota 1 it was called Ice Frost Nova too, and maybe Blizzard copyright. I have no idea. Blizzard seems to have copyright on everything.
How can Blizzard claim copyright over Frost Nova? I mean, that one.
I have no idea.
Again, I don't mind them.
It's also they probably wanted to make it different from Crystal Maiden spell. Crystal Maidens is what Frost Crystal Blast, I think. It used to be called Crystal Nova, so I don't know.
Yeah,
I prefer Frost Nova myself.
Yeah, I think it may. I mean, I don't mind Blizzard claiming copyright over stuff like Taurens. You know, Tauren Chieftain. Okay, they created the concept of Taurens. They own the property. That one doesn't bother me.
Too.
Right. Yeah, that kind of stuff. I get it. That really is their lore. But like, isn't that just a Frost Nova to Frost Blast, like Wind Runner to Wind Rage? They're starting to get a little bit. You know,
yeah, Wind Runner. I mean, like, come on, I'm pretty unhappy about that too. So. But I mean, Blizzard, what can you do if you're Valve?
Yeah.
Besides change the name.
Blizzard is like the music industry. They're not really mad about what's happening. They're mad that they just didn't get the memo that they had an opportunity and didn't go for it. If the music industry had just recognized the digital age was coming, man, they could have streamlined all their stuff online. They could have been Napster. That's what they were really mad about, not losing money. Same with Blizzard, I think. Dota was on their client. They could have just taken it. They could have done Dota 2. They chose not to.
That's their loss.
There, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Now this, like, wow, Valve, you really did well. Now can we get our copyrights back? It's like, I guess. I don't know. Have you played Heroes of the Storm, Merlini? Do you know anything about it? No, I didn't get to play it either. I'm jealous. Purge got to play it at BlizzCon. I saw the interview we did with Hotbid.
I don't know anything about it.
I'm jelly. I don't know how. There's no creeps. It basically just sounds like a 5v5 WoW arena. I don't know. I don't know how you have Dota without creeps. They're like the... Doesn't make any sense.
Arena's fun though. Skip the farming part and just go straight to killing.
It's true.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I liked WoW arenas. 5v5s were okay.
Yeah, it's like Dota. Dota without creeps.
Season,
Doesn't sound like the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, Season 3, I ran double Holy Paladin, double Mage Warrior. It was a pretty dirty
You're one of
5
those
team.
guys.
Yeah. Yeah. I wasn't really that good at WoW arenas, man. I needed every crutch I could find. I think I capped out at like 2200 or something. It was really nothing special.
Ew.
Were you a big time arena player? Are we like talking to Gladiator Merlini here?
Way back in the day.
All right.
But those times are long gone.
Oh. Bummer.
The days of Death Knights just made my life miserable. Yeah. I was a priest.
Sorry guys, problem in club. What does that mean? Are they like are they playing from a like
I have no idea. They're playing from the club.
No.
That's an excuse that you don't hear very often.
Yeah. Sorry guys, there's an issue in the club. We need pause. The music's too loud. Oh boy. Aspera looking a little impatient here though.
Yeah, they were not happy about that pause at all.
Do you know what the rules are for pauses and stuff in Starladder? Are there official rules? Is there like a time limit before?
Probably, yeah. You'd have to tell me.
I don't know. People don't prep me for these things. They just assume I know, I guess, and I just try to go with it.
Well, the situation doesn't arise too often.
Yeah. Speaking of lore and copyright, what about Necrolight? Where is he from in Blizzard lore that they can claim Necrolight? I mean, he may be in there. I don't know everything about Blizzard lore, but I've read a couple of the books and never heard of a Necrolight.
I have no idea. That one boggles my mind too.
There you go, 10-minute maximum. That helped my mind. Yeah, it's like, yeah. The Outworld Devourer one, I see a little bit, because that was based off of the Obsidian Destroyer, or Obsidian statue or whatever that turns into the bird. So that one, again, if it's really based on Blizzard lore, I don't mind as much, but there comes a point where how much is too much. And I think more changes are going to come. Sad as that may
No,
be.
don't change the names of our beloved heroes.
Seriously, man. Seriously. I don't know. I miss the Sheepstick is the other one that's changed names like a bajillion times until they just made up Scythe of Vice. Because it used to be Gwynsu, and then he started playing League of Legends, so we had to change the name as quickly as possible. And
yeah, that one, it was just called Gwynsu Scythe of Vice before. So
it was? Oh, it was always Scythe of Vice?
It was Gwynsu Scythe of Vice, yeah.
Oh, Jesus, you're schooling me again. I thought it was Gwynsu's Sheepstick. That's just what I called it in my head, I guess. That's what everybody called it, even though it wasn't the technical name.
I think it was Gwynsu Scythe of Vice. You can check on Dota 1. Play Dota. Let me check. I'll double check for you.
This is probably good pause banter here, you know? Complain about copyrights on our heroes. I don't know why saying Wind Ranger isn't hard for me, though. You know, I still say Furion, I still say Crobulus, I like to say Rexar. I know some of them, but I don't know. I just keep calling her Wind Ranger. I don't know how it happened. It started to stick.
I still don't. Windrunners just sound so much cooler.
Yeah, it really does. I'm not happy about it.
She like runs with the wind. Now it's like she's a ranger that does nothing with the wind, and I don't know. It's the synergy with the skills and stuff doesn't really work out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gwynsu Scythe of Vice in Dota 1. Yule Scepter of Divinity. What do they call Sheep or Cyclone Stick here? Yule Scepter of Divinity. So still that.
Yeah, that's still the same. What does Yule do these days? I know it's named after somebody, but I don't
exactly know what Yule does these days.
Still doing Dota.
There's a lot of mysterious people working behind the Dota scene. Nobody knows exactly who or what.
Yeah. Yule's and I'm trying to think. I know Kunkka is named from somebody. Like there was a guy named Kunkka.
He was a guy who just worked on the on the maps. I think he did a load screen too, and named the hero.
Named the admiral after him. They're like, that sounds appropriate for a pirate.
Yeah, something like that. I'm not too sure on that one, but yeah, I'm pretty sure he was a map creator too. But this is like going way back.
Yeah, way back in the day. I do always want to call Lich Kel'Thuzad. When I see that unit, I think Kel'Thuzad first, but that's not one. I think some people would get it, but not everybody. They'd be like, who the hell are you talking about? He is the Lich.
That's an appropriate name.
Yeah, I like Lich. I like to call him Lichy. Lichy, Lichy, Lichy.
One of my friends on my friends list is Liche, and I don't really know how to pronounce his name.
I don't know either.
That's what I was thinking. Is it Liche? Liche? Leech?
Leche?
I don't know. That sounds like milk, and or is it milk?
Spanish, leche.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Spanish. Yeah, I like Warcraft lore overall. I think it's pretty interesting. I read the Wrath of the Lich King book right when the game came out, and I thought it was pretty good. I mean, I played Alliance, so I liked reading about the young Arthas Alliance lore, like before the Undercity was Capital City. You would play Alliance. Look at you, dude. As soon as I saw gnomes, I was like, listen, that guy's got to be hard to click on, and he looks really cool. And my swords are bigger because I'm tiny, and my mounts are bigger. I always wanted to be a gnome, and I played Gnome Warrior for most of my tenure in World of Warcraft. Let me guess, Merlini, you were a... You strike me as the type that would pick a hunter, but I'm gonna go with something a little more annoying. I think you were a frost mage. That's my best guess.
I was not a frost mage.
No?
It's an undead priest.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm with it. Were you a holy priest?
Yeah. I played like way back when Shadow was not really an option. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I had a priest alt
I was both,
in
though.
vanilla. Yeah.
Priests are fun.
Priests are
Warriors
fun.
are fun too. Warriors were OP as shit though. Oh my goodness. I don't know why
They went up and down. They were either terrible or they were broken. One or the other.
Or some middle ground here.
There really wasn't any for warriors. The only thing I didn't like about playing a warrior is they were a more gear-dependent class than a lot of others. Warriors and rogues. If you had really sick items, you could just destroy people. And if you had shit items, you kind of just got killed. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
I was always jealous of all my mage friends that were just blinking all over the place and frost nova-ing and running around. And it's starting to look a little bit dark here, Merlini. They said 10 minutes. I haven't been watching the clock, but I feel like
we're only missing Wadafaka now. I don't really know what they're going to do if
yeah.
Wadafaka is the only one that can't connect. What are the rules then?
I don't know.
I mean, if you can't play without your mid player though. You can probably play without a support. Right. But there's no way you can play without your mid player, especially with Wadafaka being their main playmaker.
Yeah, yeah. He is reconnected now, though. Wheezy going to be able to reconnect as well. That's good news. Not sure who Wheezy is.
They got the power back up in the club.
Yeah. You got the strobe lights rolling.
I mean, it could be like, you know how they call like soccer clubs? It could just be like their team house or something, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, one of those translation things where...
But
like,
it is still calling it a club.
Not a, like, Lichen. Someone says in chat that that's pronounced like lichen. It's a fungus, apparently. Oh, lichen. Yeah, yeah. There's, in one of the expansions in WoW, one of the things you could herb was, like, frost lichen or something like that. Someone says in chat that I was on an RP server. Do I sound like the kind of guy that would be on an RP server, yes. Merlini? Oh,
exactly.
Exactly right. Oh, man. I played Shattered Hand. PvP. I was on the realm that Death and Taxes was on in vanilla, so just saying. I never talked to any of them, but they were on my server. They kind of kept to themselves. They were the #1 guild for a while, though.
Hopefully we get this game back underway. Wadafaka still seems to be having connection issues.
Yeah, this is really bad news. So yeah,
tell me a story, Yori.
Tell a story. Well, I can tell you about the time I interviewed the Statsman Bruno, and 3,000 people were watching it and enjoying it. That happened 3 hours ago.
I didn't say give me shameless self-promotion. I said a story.
Well, all right, there is a story hidden in the promotion.
Not that there's not a time and a place for that.
There is a story hidden. So it was a pretty standard interview, you know, doing things back. It was like 25 minutes or so. It's on YouTube already. And one of the last questions I asked him was about his fashion. And I thought it was just going to be a quick one like, Bruno, where can I get some clothes like you? And he went on this whole long sort of anecdote about how he really likes bright colors and how brown isn't a color, even though it sort of is. It's not a real color. And when he was a kid, he would always try to find really colorful clothes and mismatch and all this stuff. And for a while, it sort of was weird because he got all this extra attention from people, and then he realized, hey, all this extra attention can be used for good. So he's like, oh, I love wearing all these awesome sort of colorful clothes so that I can express myself and get some extra attention. And, you know, you would think that people would come up to me and say that I'm gay and all sorts of stuff, but even men, women, everybody seems to enjoy my style, and it was just a really heartfelt anecdote about Bruno's style that I just didn't see coming. I thought he was going to send me a link to Macy's.com or something, and he told me his life story about how he started picking his clothes as a young sprout in Argentina. Really touched my heart, Merlini.
Interesting. I don't know how life is down there. I've never been to South America.
I mean, well, I've been to Costa Rica. That's as close as I've gotten, but I was pretty young. But yeah, I've never really ventured about. Europe is the only place I've really ventured about.
I've only ventured about in Asia.
Oh yeah? I need to get over to Asia. I want to see Seoul.
Right.
Where have you been?
I have been to China, Japan, and Taiwan. Not that many places, but yeah. Yeah.
Taiwan. Yeah, I wouldn't mind going to Japan, but I'm a little worried about all the nuclear issues they're having right now.
I am so out of touch with current news right now. You don't even want to know how bad it is.
I like
I
news.
know everything about Dota news, but nothing about the real world.
I try to watch CNN a little bit. You know, I try to keep wits about me. Try to read the Wall Street Journal when I'm feeling like it.
Man, I would, but my subscription ended like 2 years ago.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm considering buying a tablet. I can't decide. Do you have a tablet? Are you a tablet guy?
I had a Kindle. Does that count?
It depends which one.
I would view tablets as like useless. Why wouldn't you just get a laptop? Like maybe in like some specific scenarios, like if you're like working at a nightclub or something and you need it for whatever reason. But like for the most part, it doesn't seem very useful. But I mean, that's just my end though. It depends on what you want to do, I suppose.
I like it for like, there are times where I'm lounging, you know, I work when I'm not on my computer, because like when we're casting, I like to do other stuff like either on my laptop or in some other kind of position so I can switch up my physical form a little bit. And there are times where I often wish I could just sit back and read like off of a tablet instead of having to be on my laptop like kind of hunched over and just sit back.
You can get like a laptop stand for your bed or couch or whatever.
Yeah,
and then I know a lot of my friends do that too.
I've been thinking about a tablet for a while, and I've never been able to legitimize the cost. And now I'm thinking about just buying myself an iPad
I would just buy a
Christmas.
laptop.
Yeah,
Screw iPad. That shit is not worth the money.
It's so skinny though.
So
I could read books on it.
iPads don't need to be skinny.
I could chat with people on Skype. I could watch Netflix. I like watching Netflix up close. I don't know. I started watching Netflix on my computer with headphones instead of my TV, and I like it a lot better. And people have told me it's even better on an iPad because you can, like, you know, lounge around with it like it's a book, but it's a movie. So, I don't know. Definitely a luxury, not a necessity. It's hard to legitimize the cost.
Yeah, I don't really know since I don't have one, so I'm giving you a lot of crap even though I don't have one. So you probably have to ask someone who actually has used a tablet and a laptop and a desktop and a TV.
And a TV. So, all right, it looks like we may actually be resuming here. Everyone is reconnected. We see Aspera already, and I'm not sure what Next.kz you're saying.
Aircon Gruzista. That's what they're saying. Can't you read?
Can't you read, you silly man? If I had a tablet, I might read more. I don't know. I kind of want to read more of the WoW books. Get up on my Warcraft lore so I can impress everybody on stream. Like, did you know that Rexar...
No one plays Warcraft anymore.
I know. I can still pretend, though. So, alright. It looks like Weaver did survive. That arrow down bottom didn't even connect. So, that was where we left off. Yeah, we're resumed. We're back in the game. And hopefully the connections hold steady here. So, alright. Where were we? Puck and Tinker going head-to-head in the mid lane. Puck still leading Tinker by about 5 CS or so. Has a small deny advantage as well.
Elder Titan's a big winner on top.
Yeah.
Too.
Oh wow. Yeah. 17-7 versus the what is he? 5-5 Fury, and wow, Equal really doing well up here.
Yeah. Nature's Prophet is kind of forced to get boots since Equal got boots first too, and he's level 5 compared to level 4. Nature's Prophet, even with early help coming out from. Ooh, that Spirit actually missed him, but Reeves is there. They don't necessarily need Reeves on bottom either, just because Venomancer is pretty useless in killing a Weaver this early, unless you catch it with his Shikuchi down, and Wind Ranger is also pretty useless because Shackle Shot is only 1.5 duration, 1.5 second duration, even if you connect it to a tree. So Mantis feels pretty safe on bottom. I think it's perfectly okay for Reeves to get the huge upper hand in the top lane by just constantly messing with Cat 4 KM.
Yep. And we see Weaver getting a little aggressive here. He is going to poke forward and try and harass back the Venomancer. Shackle going to fly, won't latch. And Mantis just going to stand his ground here. He's only level 4, but Blah Blah Fu taking a lot of damage. This is looking like it could be a kill. He's going to have to double back. Down he goes. Arrow is going to connect, though. And I think Mantis is going to be forced to pay with his own life. And DD Shao is going to make it a 1-for-1.
Nice arrow.
Yeah, that arrow really spot on from Wall Eater. And it looked like a free kill going the way of Next.kz, but a Veno for a Weaver. I think Aspera will be happy with that trade up in the top. Cat for
yeah,
KM.
he just needs to play passively, though, the Weaver, because he's in a 2-on-3 situation. There's no reason to take unnecessary risk. Equal gets hit by the tower. Where's the Diagro?
Oh, there it is. Just in the nick of time. That was a little bit of a scary situation. One or two more, it would have been a kill.
He's Reeves over there.
Yeah.
Arrow comes out. Amazing.
Arrow going to connect. Amazing going to be in big trouble. There's the power shot. Down he goes. It's going to make it 4-1 here. Aspera taking a little bit of momentum. All of a sudden we had, well, I guess that counts the pause. I was like, wow, that graph is really bland. But going to swing a small lead here, about 1,000 gold to start things off. Small experience advantage as well. And Tinker actually starting to make some solid farm as well. He is now 31-12 against the 24-5 Puck. So hard to say. Wadafaka could still be having some lag issues. Could be harboring his last hits a little bit. But Tinker is starting to take over a bit in this mid lane.
Yeah, and Next.kz has actually blocked the Ancient Spawn too, so he won't have that tool available to him. Mantis is still playing very aggressively on these two heroes. They are very low on regen though. Combined in between the two of them, they only have one Soul Tingo left. They do have Magic 6, which is pretty useful versus a Shikuchi and Weaver. Checking Cat 4KM's farm. He's already gotten phase boost though, so I doubt he's going to be in that much trouble, especially since Elder Titan does not have phase boost of his own and is instead going for power treads. This tower would be under the threat, but Nature's Prophet full mana has Treants there to back him up too. Reeves trying to do a double stack right now, trying to triple stack it. Is he gonna get it off? And wow, what happened to Wadafaka? Why is he over there? That
was just a disaster. He burned the Dream Coil to try to initiate onto Sharfik, thought he was solo, shot the orb forward, and oh god, kill down in the bottom lane. We'll go back to mid in just a moment here. Looks like Windrunner going to be able to survive, and of course now I'm going to miss that one. But basically he's overcommitted. Threw the orb, got Sharfik down a little bit low, then Venomancer poked his head out. He felt obligated to take the orb, and then got positioned somewhere about right here, and was basically just stuck in no man's land. And they did the old switcheroo. Finished him off, and yeah, now Wadafaka in even worse shape.
They should be playing aggressively in mid and bottom if Reeves is around, but without Reeves and Reeves around, they should be playing very defensively. Wadafaka just needs to get his farm up, especially with his second death already. And when you already have an early death, you can't really play that aggressively, or else you're going to be too far behind.
So Tinker looking like he's going to be close to those boots of travel. He does have just brown boots and a null talisman right now. But about 1,700 in the bank, so not too far off that recipe.
Not really sure why Sharfik casted his March here.
Yeah, it was
protecting that rune.
Yeah, I guess so. So what is kind of an ideal timing for boots of travel on Tinker? I know ASAP is kind of the rule of thumb, but what's a good benchmark we can look at here?
I'd say like 10-11 minutes is really good. If you can get it before then, that is just icing on the cake. And if you get Soul Ring, well, they haven't messed with Tinker at all, so. Like, Alchemist is not rotated at all. Lich can't really do that much besides deny his creeps. I think Lich may have been better suited to mid, actually. But, yeah, I think 8.5, or he's going to get at like 9, so that's a really good timing. I'd say standard is like 10 to 12, and then if you're going to get Soul Ring, like 13, 14, it's fine.
Yeah, he's well on his way. I mean, getting that kill there in the mid lane certainly going to help him out, and he did grab that assist earlier on as well from the First Blood, so Tinker is definitely off to a good start. Would be even worse if he had gotten that bonus gold from the First Blood, but I believe it was the Windrunner that was able to pick it up. Mirana going to grab herself a Hand of Midas here. Going to be a Hand of Midas first, right around that 9-minute mark. Not too shabby for Wall Eater. He is going to throw a Sacred Arrow. Going to be off the mark. Not going to be able to connect with Mantis for a kill, unfortunately.
It's going to be an early Orchid build on Ink Visitor, I think, or it could be a Treads into Drums. Not sure, but double robe of intelligence is something that you rarely see on supports. Cat for KM.
Yep. Oh, up in the top lane here. Cat4KM is going to be in some trouble. Reeves going to channel up the stun, and down he goes. But Sharfik's going to appear. He's got those boots of travel. He may be able to clean it up. He is going to be low on mana. No charges in the bottle. Reeves trying to survive. Equal going to turn. He wants to steal some of that movement speed, perhaps. Cat4KM, he's going to come back. He's going to pour it in. That'll be the end of the Alchemist. Now Equal going to head for the hills. He does have a little bit of a movement speed advantage here. He does have the power treads, not over the Tinker, of course, with those boots of travel. Actually, not over either. I don't know why I said that. He's got phase boots as well, so no move speed advantage without the addition from the Spirit. Going to be 6-3 here. Aspera going to come out ahead in that top lane. Furion gets killed, but he gets right back in the action. And really the big outlier here for Next.kz is that Puck, if you look at net worth. Everyone else is semi-even across the roles, but Puck just really far behind where that Tinker is.
Yeah, both of them kind of wanted that Storm, I feel like. And Wadafaka on Puck just doesn't seem to be as impressive as on the Storm. Venomancer does have wards on him. He is only level 5. He does have the Plague Ward build instead. Sharfik working on that Soul Ring, starting to spam down Reeves. They're going to need some like urns or some mechs up pretty soon if they want to deal with this spam. If they want to constantly fight me. If they just gank them, that's okay. But Puck really not in a position to control the game right now.
Yep. You did go ahead and grab those power treads, but going to be a ways off grabbing a blink. Only about 150 in the bank here at the 11-minute mark. So going to be a slow game for Puck, I think, needless to say, as Tinker continues to pressure the mid lane. Other item pickups here. Any other Midas on the field? Nope. Just the one of Wall Eater, and then as you mentioned, probably that early Orchid coming onto the Windrunner. And I use early very loosely. Early for a support, but going to be a nice mid-game Orchid, I guess, coming out.
Yeah, Wadafaka able to phase shift, so able to save himself a little bit of HP, but he's still very, very fragile right now. Only 525 HP. If he gets hit by a laser rocket, he is dead. I think that damage does like upwards of almost 600 damage.
Yep, and down in the bottom lane, oh no, a 2-for-0 swing the way of Next.kz. Exactly what they were looking for right there. It looked like they might be able to finish off the Weaver. They did connect with an arrow and a shackle that didn't latch, but then all of a sudden the Lichy came in, the Chain Frost took a good bounce, and chased down that Mirana until she turned into a pile of blood on the floor. Mantis now could be in a little bit of trouble as well. Tinker going to try and box him into the trees here. He's going to throw that heat-seeking missile. And nope, Tinker just going to pour it out, but will harass back Mantis a little bit.
Yeah, both heroes waiting for that bottom rune. Looks like Mantis is just going to head on home and give it to Wadafaka because he needs it way worse than Mantis does. And Mirana, yeah, she has that Midas, but she has died, so not the biggest win in the world for her in terms of farm, but already starting to pressure mid tower. The Spirit's looking really, really good in this early game. They definitely have the momentum. It's only a 1-kill difference, but with the BOTs out on Tinker, with the Midas out on Mirana, and with the Midas out on Nature's Prophet, the game is definitely going their way, and the pressure's on Next.kz to try and take them out of the rhythm.
Sometimes when I'm watching Tinker, I just have flashbacks to playing WTF mode, where he's just all over the place. Once he gets those boots of travel, it's really insane how fast his farm can start to skyrocket. And also now another Midas going to be on the side of Aspera, going to be in the inventory of that Nature's Prophet, who's just now going to ding level 9. Puck going to be able to get a nice deny for the tier 1 tower kill in the mid lane. Did have a double damage rune on, so made it a little bit easier there for Wadafaka. But first tower going to fall in favor of Aspera, going to further their gold lead here, upwards of just about 2,500. Not too shabby, though Next.kz are hanging on to their small experience lead of about 1,000.
Yeah, the 5 range lineup on Aspera is pretty nice to deal with someone like Lich, someone like Elder Titan, where they do definitely need to spread out a lot. Same with Puck too. Wadafaka just going to die to Martian Machine in middle. My goodness, he is just not that good on Puck. My goodness, 0 and 3 on him, and it looks like an arrow connected on Mantis on bottom, so he's going to die too.
Yep, so that's going to be 2 kills going their way. I did miss the Wadafaka kill, but I saw the Weaver one instead, so it's starting to look bad across the lanes here. And this is one of the problems with Puck. Once you lose that momentum, it can be a little bit difficult to recover without that early blink. Lacking that mobility, that survivability.
He has a stout shield for crying out loud.
Yeah, that's a bad sign.
Why would you get a stout shield on Puck? Like, a bracer would serve him way better than a stout shield because they have a lot of magic damage to deal with.
Kind of an odd choice. Maybe a panic, but he may have purchased it right before he died just to prevent losing gold, perhaps. I don't know when he bought it, but that's just food for thought. I can't think of, I don't know, too many situations where I'd want to grab a stout shield on the Puck.
Yeah, pretty much never.
Yeah.
Ever.
So,
Inkvisitor.
Yep, Inkvisitor going to be in some trouble. The Earth Splitter going to come, not going to connect. And I think Inkvisitor may be able to survive this one. Equal going to dive it. There's a shackle that is going to latch. The Gale going to come in. Now Equal may get turned around on. He's going to throw the Astral Spirit. Doesn't connect with the Windrunner, and Elder Titan is indeed going to fall.
Reeves has been really inactive around the map. He's 0-1-1 right now. The only kill that he got was on the Nature's Prophet, but he turned that right around with a buyback. So I think that Reeves is just not doing a good job of helping his team out because mid already lost out. Equal, he was sitting on 2,000 gold. Not really sure why he didn't spend his gold there. If he had drums, he would have easily been able to kill him. And Next.kz, they have to make something happen in like the next 6 or 7 minutes. If they just keep getting rolled like this and all 3 lanes pretty much, Wadafaka dying in mid, we just saw Elder Titan die on top, Mantis has died on bottom, and if they keep losing out on just kills there, small kills there, Aspera with her Midases are just going to easily take this game.
Yep, absolutely agree with that. Mantis and as well as the Elder Titan, really the only 2 farming very well. That's going to be Equal and the Elder Titan. The only 2 doing well in terms of net worth right now. Elder Titan actually number 2 overall in the match, but Elder Titan not one of those heroes that you need that super early farm with. You really want to see it on some of those carries instead because he's really not going to be able to carry by too much of a margin there. He does have that urn that you mentioned, but still, I'm at 2,000 in the bank. We'll see where he moves into here. Mantis could be in a little bit of trouble. He is going to get sprouted. The Sentry going to come down. Arrow going to fly. Not going to connect, but he's still going to be in big trouble. The Gale is on. Of course, Shikuchi does thwart some of that, and he's going to survive. Not going to have the lockdown to make it happen. Tinker now going to use the Marching Machine as they do start to retreat, but uh-oh. The Sleep going to come out. It is going to catch Blah Blah Fu and Sharfik. The Earth Splitter comes. That'll be the end of the Veno. Tinker will be able to turn around on the Alchemist, and Next.kz with just so many low health heroes here. It's going to end up being a 1-for-3. Tinker does survive, and will just cost him their Venomancer in exchange for a puck.
Tinker lived too.
Yeah.
Who has a mech, which is an unusual build, but when you have this early game and you can solidify it with a mech, then it's definitely a good choice.
Yep. So
he lived because of that.
Yep. Weaver, the only valuable hero that did survive, but still finishing off the puck in the Elder Titan. Exactly what Aspera we're looking for. And they grab themselves the top tier 1 tower, and look at that, GG already. Looks like Next.kz just going to tap out, recognizing they're behind by a large margin here. I think it makes sense.
It's about the ping.
Yeah, I believe the ping. It seemed like it. Once we reconnected, I mean, Wadafaka didn't really seem to be playing spot on. It seemed like he may have had some lag issues still hanging around.
Yeah. Well, interesting game.
Yeah.
Just kind of underwhelming from Next.kz overall.
Yeah. Absolutely. Very unfortunate if they really were having significant lag issues the entire game, not even before the disconnects. Definitely a sad story. Still a good win for Aspera. They did play well. The sort of oddball Tinker pick ended up working out well for them. And, well, going to be another victory in the book. So that was Game 2. Our next match not slated to start for another 15 minutes or so, despite that long pause. It was still a reasonably quick game. We got Power Rangers versus Aspera coming up next, so we'll see how Aspera fare against the Belarus champions. We've got plenty more Dota action coming your way here on Beyond the Summit. Starladder Season 8, Day 8. Stay tuned, guys.